Today we are going to see how to carry out independent sample t-test in JASP. Now let's look at a problem. A recent Time magazine reported the following information about a sample of workers in Germany and United States. The average length of work and the sample standard deviation of the same is being given for United States and Germany. Then the data is 600 sample size for United States and 700 for Germany. Now we want to determine whether or not there is a significant difference between the average work week in United States and the average work week in Germany. Now you can just check that our hypothesis here is to check whether the averages are the same for the population of US and population of Germany. Since the sample standard deviation is given and we do not know anything else about the population, we have to carry out an independent sample t-test here because we have two different populations and we want to check whether the average length of work week is the same across the two countries. Now, if you look at this, either we have to generate the sample and then solve the problem in JASP. However, the good thing is that in JASP, you can have analysis done without having a data set. And how is it possible? Let's look at it. So in JASP, if you look closely, when you click on the plus button, you would get the different other modules which you need to check, right? Now, among that, you have something called as R beta. Now, R beta is a provision provided in R, they provided in JASP to write R code. Okay, so you can click on this R beta. So you get welcome to R in JASP. So you can always provide the code out here. Okay, and you can write the function which are already part of the default R library. Right, so we'll make use of this to solve this type of problems where you don't need to construct your data set and upload it in JASP, okay, which typically is the case when it comes to JASP. Right, so let's have a look at the data first. So you can see that the average length of work week for United States, it is 42 with the sample size of 5 and sample size of 600. Okay, so what we will do is we will create a variable called work week United States, wherein we would generate the sample in the R coding language in one single line. And then on similar lines, we will generate a sample for Germany with the required specifications. And then we'll make use of a function called t-test in R. So basically, this would be only 3 lines which you need to type. And you can get the result straight away in JASP. All right, so let's get started. So the average length and sample standard deviation, just make note of this for US. So 42, 5, and 600, right? So you can type out here, say work week. US. Once again. Is 42, 5, and 600, right? 42 plus 5 into scale R norm 600. So what we are doing here is we are just generating the sample with exact mean 42 and standard deviation 5. And the sample size is 600. So this is one line. Then on similar lines, we will make use of Germany. Okay. So for Germany, the specifications are 38, 6, and 700. 38 plus 6 into scale R norm 700. Okay, so we are going to use these two details in our t-test. So t.test, use the same details which you have generated, work week US, work week Germany, all right. Now we are looking at just a check of equality. So that's all right. So all that we need is these two details. Okay. And we can run the code. So now you can see that we have details. We have the test statistic here, 13.11, and the p-value is very less. This is just a scientific notation in which this is written. Okay. And of course, your sample estimates have been calculated for each. All right. So now how do we interpret the result? The test statistic is 13.11 and the p-value is very less. So it's very small. So if you go through the problem, it is suggested that we possibly look at 95% confidence interval, right? So 5% is the level of significance. And when you look at the result, we can see that the p-value is so small that it is less than level of significance. And what it means is that the work week US and work week Germany, on an average, they are not the same. Okay, so they are going to be two different details altogether. Okay, and this is how we can carry out an independent sample t-test by making use of R in JASP, right? When the details of the sample are not given, but rather only the aggregate values have been provided to us. Thank you.